Aquí estamos poniendo la electricidad para la guillotina. Aquí en el contenedor estamos poniendo la guillotina, conectando la electricidad. Así que aquí dentro del contenedor tenemos un panadito de todas las conexiones. Lo más importante, la conexión de la guillotina que vamos a ahora mismo ya encender.
Si Dios quiere.
Si Dios quiere.
Muy importante.
Amén. Lo más importante. Ahora estamos dando la conexión ahí. Esto es Andrés.
Guajiro.
Guajiro. Y Mike. Ay, ya estamos listos para la gran prueba. Ya estamos conectados. Vamos a dar la prueba. Ahora, 1, 2, 3. Nada. Aquí tenemos a Mike. Él nos va a explicar cómo utilizar la máquina guillotina aquí industrial.
Ok, aquí cuando enciende la máquina tienes el master power on y power off. Ok, con la llave para afuera, enciende la máquina con los dos
Apagar y encender.
Encender la máquina ahí. Cuando vas a encender la máquina, toca los dos cut buttons, que son estos de acá abajo, uno aquí y uno aquí, a la izquierda y a la derecha.
Ya.
Ahí, enciende la máquina cuando lo toca.
Okay.
Después de unos 5 minutos se apaga la máquina sola si no la están usando. Para la medida, aquí siempre, cuando estás aquí tienes un punto encendido, un punto apagado. ¿Ok? Siempre tienes que darle para adelante a la manigueta esta, que está acá adelante.
Que está empujando el
back gauge sobre adelante.
Okay. ¿Cómo se llama eso?
Un back gauge.
Back gauge.
Sí. Ahora, la medida está a 5, tú vas a ver que va a brincar a 5 pulgadas. Y ahora, después que tú pasas los 5 pulgadas, ahí está a medida.
Son pulgadas, no son milímetros ni centímetros, nada de eso.
Ahora, después que tú vas para adelante, que pasó 5 pulgadas, ya siempre esto va a estar a medida cuando das para adelante o para atrás. Ok, pues ahora si vas a cortar esto debe estar, vamos a ponerlo a una medida correcta, vamos a decir 8.2. Después que tengas la medida, trancas el lock que está aquí.
Ajá. Y este lock aquí.
Ese es un lock. Okay. Ya trancó, no se mueve entonces, la medida se queda de 8.20.
Okay.
Tocas los botones de cut, baja el clamp y te va a cortar ahí.
Y hay dos botones de cut.
Hay dos dedos, una a la derecha y una a la izquierda. Si tocas uno solamente no te hace nada, el otro tiene que ser los dos juntos.
Perfecto.
Ya para apagar la máquina es igual, tocas el cut y puedes sacar otra vez con la llave. You would take these two Allens out, which you need a tool for them.
Okay.
Take these out, and the tools that will go in here are two longer tools, which are handles.
Okay.
Then you eliminate and take out all the rest.
Okay, so you're holding the handles.
Yes, the two handles will be nice and snug onto here, and you would take out the ones that are not unslotted. See, these are slotted. That's where the handle goes. Unslotted go here. You take out all those Allen screws that are not slotted.
Okay.
And then you would go ahead and turn your machine on. And then bring this down. And how I told you, the other person will shut that off. If you want to go ahead and shut it off, I can show you. Okay. Once that's done, you will get to these bolts right here, which look good. Okay. See, these are your limit bolts, which this one should have been all the way down, but these are your limit bolts. You would bring these up like a 1/4 inch. See?
Okay.
Once you bring those up a 1/4 inch, you would turn your machine back on. Loosen up your handles. The blade will come down and swing in and out with the blade. Put it on your table.
Okay.
You will get your new blade, take it out, put the handles back on your old blade, put it back on that board which the blade comes on.
Okay.
And then before you do anything, hit that and put it out of the way. So now you have your new blade fresh on the table. You will go ahead, slide it back in.
With the handles?
Yeah. Lift it and lock it back into place. Then do the same exact thing again. which is put a piece of paper here with a new cutting stick. These are called cutting sticks. You would flip this over either which way. You still have another side to use on this. You can just flip it over, put a new blade on there. I mean a new cutting stick. Put 2 pieces of paper. Do the same thing how I showed you earlier, which is cut and stop it. So if you want to go ahead and stop it. Okay, now that it's stopped, what you're doing is you loosen up these 2 handles a little bit, and you would bring down these stops. These stops are basically what push down your blade to be able to cut the paper. So once you push it down, that you see it cuts on one side, cuts on the other side, you put the rest of your bolts, tighten it up, take out your handles, put the correct bolts, turn it back on, and you're done.
The paper is to demonstrate that it's cutting.
That it's cutting the very last sheet.
That the blade is actually making contact with the cutting strip.
Exactly, and it's going to cut your very last sheet of paper.
Okay.
So that's what you want it to do. Once you're done with that, like I said, just turn your cutter back on, and your machine is with a new blade already.
Very good.
It's very simple to explain, very simple, but it is very dangerous. So I suggest the first time you call me, then I'll show you hands-on how to do it. But at the end of the day, if you want to try it, just be very, very careful. Because it is a blade at the end of the day, and it's sharper than any blade you've seen. When you're changing your blade, make sure you see you have double holes. You're always going to want to put it on the same hole that it was on. See, don't put it on the bottom hole. You're going to put it on the top hole. That means that the blade was already sharpened enough that it's too short, so you have to put it on the top hole. So when you're putting your new blade, just make sure that you put it on that same exact hole, because it's already sharpened to that point.
Okay, so definitely goes on the top hole.
Yes. On your new
this
blade,
machine.
Yeah, on that blade, you're gonna see it's on that top hole. When you're looking at this one, what you might want to do is get a piece of paper, a little strip of a paper, measure here, and if it's really, really long compared to that, then obviously you're gonna put it on your second hole. Why? Because the blade's gonna be higher up. So
and
you
so
want to make
those
sure
two screws that
exactly. Those, you just gotta bring them up.
there's just 2 of them.
So the blade goes higher up.
Okay, so the blade goes higher up.
Yeah, because the problem is if this blade is this blade looks pretty new. If it was too new and you put it on this top hole, what's going to happen is it's going to go ahead and cut right through that cutting stick all the way down to the metal, and you're going to chip your blade up again. So make sure that you go ahead and measure and make, put it in the correct hole you're going to put it on.
How much of a with those screws, those 2 screws, how much of a leeway do I have?
I would put no. You could. It goes up a lot depending on how old your blade is, but you should bring it up at least a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch.
Okay.
You should bring it up. And as far as your oil, like I said, here's your spout to go ahead and check how much oil you have in here. It should go up to the bubble. You should see a bubble. Let me turn on my light so you can see it. You should see right here, see how it has a little bit of oil? That's where it should be leveled up to. Your oil, I think this one, like I said, takes around 3.5 to 4 gallons of oil. Go ahead and drain out your oil. I've never done it through here. I always use a vacuum pump for it, but take off your filter, unscrew it, which you see it's an old filter, it's been leaking. Take off your filter, unscrew it, slap on your new filter, and you're good to go.
Okay.
That's about it.